All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. I got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. In this video today, something that I just kind of came across, I had a feeling, but I wasn't sure. And that is, for the all-time greats, who had the most beatdowns? And I'm talking blowouts. Who got blew out the most? And when I say blowout, I'm talking 20 points or more in the playoffs. Who got drubbed? Well, I basically just did my top 10, but I did throw in a couple extra players. Steph Curry's one of them. Now, he's, looked at as a great winner and, modern day, the last, 10 years or so, the best winner. Sure. Well, let's take a look. So Steph Curry played 147 playoff games, so that's relevant, I guess. 2014 first round, game 2 against the Clippers. He got beat 138-98. That's a 40-point beatdown. That's pretty bad. 2015 Western Conference Finals, game 3. Actually, no, it's 2016. I'm sorry, I wrote down. 2016 Western Conference Final, Game 3 against Oklahoma City. They lost 133-105. That's a 28-point beatdown. Game 4 against OKC. The next game, they lost 118-94, a 24-point beatdown. The 2016 Finals, Game 3 against Cleveland. They lost 120-90, 30 points. 2017 Finals, Game 4. They were going for the sweep against Cleveland. They got beat 137-116, lost by 21. In 2018, the Western Conference Finals, Game 2, Houston beat them 127-105, 22 points. 2022 Western Conference Semifinals against Memphis, Game 5, Memphis, avoiding elimination, wins 134-95, a 39-point beatdown. In 2023 Western Conference Semifinals against the Lakers, Game 3, the Warriors lost 127-97 by 30. Then in Game 6 in the same series, they got closed out by the Lakers. They lost 122-101 in Game 6. That's a 21-point discrepancy. So all told, in Curry's playoff career, he lost by 20 or more 9 times, including 4 that were 30 or more and 1 that was 40. So, hey, I know a lot of people hold Curry in high esteem, but, this is just one thing to look at. But he did get blown out a pretty fair amount of times, actually, for the amount of playoff games that he played. All right. I'm going to start with LeBron James because he's basically like my number 11, whatever, just outside the top 10 there. 2006 Eastern Conference Semifinals, Game 1 against Detroit. He gets beat 113-86, a 27-point loss. 2008 first round against Washington in Game 3. 108-72, loses by 26. 2010 Eastern Conference Semifinals against Boston, Game 5. 120-88, a 32-point drubbing. 2011 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1 against Chicago. 103-82, lose by Miami, he was on Miami then, lost by 21. 2013 Finals, Game 3 against San Antonio. A total destruction. I think this is his worst loss ever. In fact, it is. San Antonio 113, Miami 77, a 36-point beatdown. 2014 Finals, Game 4. Spurs 107-86, a 21-point win. Now LeBron's back on Cleveland. 2016 Finals, Game 2. Golden State 110, Cleveland 77, 33-point loss. 2017 Finals, Game 1. Golden State 113, Cleveland 91, a 22-point loss. 2018 first round, Game 6 against Indiana, the 5 seed. They beat Cleveland 121 to 87. I mean, what? 2018 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1. Boston 108, Cleveland 83, a 25-point loss. 2018 Finals, Game 4. Cleveland got beat 108 to 85 by Golden State, 23-point loss. 2021 first round, Game 5 against Phoenix. He's now on the Lakers. They lose 115 to 85, a 30-point loss. 2023 Western Conference semifinals, Game 2 against Golden State. Golden State wins 127 to 100, a 27-point loss. So all told, LeBron James has 13 losses by 20 or more points in the playoffs. 5 by 30 or more. That's a lot. That's a lot of drubbins there. I know he played 287 playoff games. I get all that. It's still a pretty high number. Shaquille O'Neal, 95 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 6 against Indiana. Indiana beats him 123 to 96 by 27. 96 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1 against the Bulls. The Bulls beat him 121 to 83. 38-point loss. I think that's the worst in Shaq's career at the hands of who else? That guy. 1998 Western Conference Finals, Game 1 against Utah. Utah beats the Lakers 112 to 77, 35-point loss. 2000 Western Conference Finals, Game 2. Portland beats the Lakers 106 to 77 by 29. 2000 Finals, Game 5. Now, I think Kobe might have been, that was a game that he got hurt in, but he played, so I gotta count it. But for Shaq, you definitely gotta count it. Indiana won 120 to 87, a 33-point loss. In 2003, in the first round, Game 2 against Minnesota, Minnesota wins 119 to 91, a 28-point loss. 2004 Finals, Game 3 against Detroit. Detroit wins 88-68 by 20. 2005 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 6 against Detroit. Detroit wins 91 to 66, a 25-point defeat. And in 2010 Eastern Conference semifinals, same team as LeBron was on, Game 5, Boston wins 120 to 88, a 32-point loss. So all told, 9 times Shaq lost by at least 20, 4 times by 30 or more. Now I can see this video is going to run long if I recite every single game. So I'll just do some notable ones and give you the total at the end. Tim Duncan played 251 games, so he's not that far off from LeBron. One notable is 2001 Western Conference Finals against the Lakers in Game 3. The Lakers beat them 111 to 72, the worst loss of Tim Duncan's career. The 2005 Finals Game 4 against Detroit. Detroit won by 31, 102-71. 2008 Western Conference Finals Game 2 against the Lakers. Kobe's now the guy there. 101-71. The Lakers beat him by 30. All told, Tim Duncan lost 13 times by 20 or more, just like LeBron. And 3 times he lost by 30 or more. Sounds like a lot. And that's in the defensive era, too. A lot of that. So, he's getting some severe beatdowns. Now, yeah, he played a lot of playoff games. I get that. Hakeem Olajuwon played 140 playoff games. His worst loss was the 96 Western Conference semifinals against Seattle. People talk about no competition. Well, Seattle beat the 2-time defending champion Houston Rockets. They beat them, they swept them actually. In Game 1, they beat Houston 108 to 75 by 33 points. All told, Hakeem Olajuwon lost 8 times by 20 or more, once by 30 though. So to me, it's somewhat respectable considering his teammates and how tough the West was, especially in the mid to late 90s and all that. Respectable in my mind. Okay, Wilt Chamberlain. He played 160 playoff games. His worst loss ever was the very first one here. 1960 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 3 against Boston. He lost 120-90 by 30 points. All told, Wilt Chamberlain lost 10 games by 20 or more, once by 30 or more, and that was the game I just named. Larry Bird played 164 playoff games, so similar to Wilt Chamberlain. His worst loss was 1984 Finals against the Lakers, lost 137-104, a 33-point loss. All told, Larry Bird lost 6 times by 20 or more points, once by 30 or more. So actually, that's pretty good. You know, you weren't blowing Larry Bird out a lot. All right, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He played 237 career playoff games. His worst loss was probably 1970, his rookie year, Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5 against the Knicks. He lost 132-96, a 36-point loss. Another notable game was the 85 Finals, Game 1. Now, the Lakers did win that series, but Boston put it on them, 148-114, a 34-point loss. All told, Kareem lost 8 times by 20 or more, 3 times by 30 or more. Kobe Bryant, he had a couple pretty bad ones. 2006 first round, Game 7 against Phoenix, the famous game where he stopped shooting or whatever. He lost 121-90 by 31 points. His worst loss ever was 2008 Finals, the clincher in Game 6. Boston beat him 131-92, a 39-point loss. That was bad. Another one, these are all closeout games too. 2011 against Dallas, the second round, Game 4 to close out. 122-86, Dallas beat him down. All told, Kobe 11 times lost by 20 or more, and 5 times he actually lost by 30 or more because he was in there with Shaq with a couple of those bad, like that 98 Western Conference Game 1 against Utah, and they lost by 35. Magic Johnson, I mean, it's mostly a lot of the same ones for Kareem from 1980. It is from 1980 to 88. His worst loss ever was 1985 Finals, same thing, where Boston beat him 148-114 in Game 1. His worst loss in the 2 years he didn't play with Kareem was in the 91 Finals, Game 2, against the Bulls, lost 107-86 by 21. That was that game where, Jordan had the went up to Duncan with the right and switched to the left. Spectacular move. You guys have seen it. And it's when he made 13 straight field goals, still a finals record to this day. That was that game. All told, Magic Johnson 7 times lost by 20 or more, twice by 30 or more. Okay, Bill Russell. He only lost 5 times by 20 or more. His worst loss was the 64 Finals, Game 3 against San Francisco Warriors, 115-91 by 24. And also, another one by Wilt was the 67 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5, lost 140-116. No 30-point losses, though. He played 165 playoff games, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but Magic played 190 playoff games, and Kobe played 220. So all these guys, played quite a bit. Now we get to Michael Jordan. How many do you think how many times do you think Michael Jordan lost the playoff games by 20 or more? And before you start that competition junk, remember, he played a 59-win Milwaukee team his rookie year with a 38-win team that he was on. He had a 30-win Bulls team playing the 67-win 86 Celtics, the best home team of all time. That's not even disputable. They were 49-1 that year. And in 87, the Bulls won 40 games, and the Celtics won 59. And they were, the inferior team to Detroit when they were winning those championships and all that. How many games do you think Jordan lost by 20 points? Do you know off the top of your head? 3. That's it. I'll list them for you. And he never lost by 30. The first time was the 88 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 3 against Detroit. They lost 101-79 by 22. His worst loss ever, I remember this game, but I didn't realize, The 92 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 2. It was in Chicago, actually. Cleveland just put it on them. I remember they were ahead. They were way ahead early, and they just couldn't miss. It was just one of those games. Cleveland won 107-81, a 26-point win for Cleveland. It was the worst loss in Jordan's playoff career. The other one he lost by 20 was the 96 Finals, Game 4, when Seattle was playing for survival. They're down 3-0. They won 107-86. That was 21. That's it. That's the 3 20-point losses of Michael Jordan's career. That's crazy, right? That's it. No 30-point losses. His worst one was 26 points. That's it. And you look at everybody else on this list, even if you do the math of figuring out how many he would have played, based on the amount of games he played versus somebody else, not even close. It's Jordan all day long. Russell is second. I wouldn't even call him a close second. But he played, Detroit when they won 63 games, 59 games, all that, all those teams in the 90s, all that business. Everybody always loves talking about competition. Meanwhile, Kareem and, Wilt and Kobe and all these other guys, they're losing a bunch of them. Shaq, and they got better teammates than Jordan. How's it even up for debate that these guys had better teammates than Jordan did? I mean, Tim Duncan, he had great teammates. He lost 13 times by 20 or more. So just to do a recap, Steph Curry lost 9 times, 20 or more, four times by 30. LeBron, 13 times, lost by 20 or more. 5 of those was by 30. Shaq, 9 times, lost by 20 points. 4 of those was by 30. Tim Duncan, 13 times, lost by 20. 3 of those was by 30. Akeem Olajuwon lost 8 games of 20 points or more. 1 of those was by 30. Wilt Chamberlain, 10 times, lost by 20 or more. 1 was by 30. Larry Bird, he did pretty good, I thought. Only 6 times, lost by 20 or more. Once by 30. Because, he played the Lakers and the Philly and all that. He did have a great team, though, too. Kareem, 8 times, lost by 20. 3 of those was by 30. Kobe, 11 times, lost by 20 or more. 5 was by 30 or more. So he did have some severe blowouts. Kobe did. Magic had 7 times, lost by 20 or more. 2 was by 30 or more. Bill Russell, 5, 20 or more. No 30-point games. And Michael Jordan, 3 times, lost by 20 or more. No 30-point losses. So again, look at that. And I mean, what can you say? I don't care how you slice it, dice it, whatever you want to call it. Michael Jordan had the least amount of blowouts of any superstar. It's just not even a debate. Now, I'm not going to say it's not even close because it's sort of close with Bill Russell. Bill Russell played 15 less games. If you do the math, I mean, Russell still lost, he lost 2 more, but he played 15 more games. I don't know. I would say he was on pace to lose I don't know. If he would have played as many as Jordan, he probably would have lost like 5.5 games, something like that. But that's about double of what Jordan did. Once again, here it is. Who had the least amount of blowouts? Jordan, of any of these superstars. And I just threw Curry in there for good measure because he had some blowouts. He's the only guy in here that lost by 40. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I give daily content a lot like this, comparing the all-time greats. Anyway, thanks for watching, and that's it for now.